Me, my brother and my old man were all underground miners. The seismic event is common underground in our environment, so that's what we call our boat Seismic. On our days off, we just go fishing regardless of the weather. I just love succeeding, really. I like getting in there, and it's a challenge every time.
Yep, stripey. That's a good fish.
People love these fish. They're one of the premier fish down here in Tazzy to catch.
Got him.
In Tassie, well, we've done it for a long time now. The more time you spend out there, the more you learn. So we're always learning, even after all these years. My name's Eythan Purton, and we're in Eythan Bay, Tasmania. I love Tassie because it's such a small place, really, and we can get around it pretty quickly. Like, I was on the west coast of Tasmania yesterday, drove down here last night and straight in the water today having a dive. Yeah, so we're pretty lucky this weekend. We're all staying at Mark Haley's place at Eythan Bay, which is obviously right on the water. They've accommodated us all, which is amazing. Made it a lot easier for us, like we can just all roll in and get the boat and the tackle ready and not have to worry about anything else. So just roll in the bed and get a couple of hours sleep and then go fishing. Going out of the Eythan Bay barway is not ideal. Sometimes you need a bit of water there and the swell gets up. But we got in and got out safely. And went and found a bit of bottom to have a bit of a dive and got some nice crays. I get excited every time I get in there. We started pretty shallow today and I was finding a lot of smaller fish, so I pushed out a bit deeper and found some bigger boulders and bigger holes. And in them holes was bigger fish. A couple of fish we caught today was very close to 4 kilo. Which is a nice sized cray. That's not uncommon down this way either. There's good crays around this way. Yeah, that's what we love about coming down here, really. Yeah, we was diving today on a compressor. We've got about 150 metres of 8mm hose on the line. We do a bit of shore diving as well, so we can put that on the rocks and get a bit of coverage off the land on the west coast usually, and also out of the boat like we did today. I've covered a bit of ground with the boys on anchor, and they're all just a bit of a relax, so it makes it a lot easier having that hose there. I just love succeeding, really. I like getting in there, and it's a challenge every time. Like every dive's different. They're never easy, and the crays aren't always easy to catch either. So it's a challenge, and bringing home a good feed like we're going to have tonight, it's pretty rewarding, I reckon. So we've got a 2400 Stabicraft. I've had it for a couple of years now, and it's the best boat I've ever had. Along the side of it, we've got a significant seismic event, the readings off the Richter scale on there. That's how we sort of designed our wrap on the boat around that. Yeah, 2250 previously. We had a 659 as well, and we've got a 1450 dinghy now as well with this 2400, something special. The boat is 7.4 metres long. Just under 3 tonne on the trailer. That's without a full tank of fuel, so we'd be a bit over with fuel, I suppose, and all the dive gear on there today and all that stuff should be pushing 3.5. We love the stability in them because we fish the weather down here, and our roster we work week on, week off. On our days off, we just go fishing regardless of the weather. We go sword fishing out there, and the weather would be crap and with no one else out there, and we still catch swordfish in pretty average conditions. We love that about them. And then the ride as well, always riding really well. Under the lighthouse at Edison there today, we were doing 65 kilometres an hour, and I was just doing a hard turn as full lock, and they just turn like they're on rails. And they just turn out beautiful and straighten up. I don't know many boats who'd be able to do that. So we've got a Mercury 250 V8 on the back. It's bulletproof, we love it. We're putting a lot of hours on there every year because we're on the water so much, and we wouldn't have nothing else today, I reckon. We're doing a litre per kilometre pretty well. So on the big trips that we do, it's pretty good. And Deegan Marine, who's supplied the boat to us, they've been unbelievable to us for a very long time, and the way they support us is next level, to be honest with you. and it'll continue on for a long time. We've got a good relationship with them now, and we just love going away and having our fishing trips and having a beer to early hours in the morning, and then waking up and going to catch fish and putting the stabies to the test, and they lap it up every time. Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to be going up north for fair travel and chasing stripy trumpeter and maybe some blue eye trevally. So we'll do some jigging, I reckon, for the trumpeter. So we've got some Shimano OSHA jigging reels there. I've got some Shimano grappler jigging reels and some Stellas and some Saragosas for bait fishing. And then when we go to the shelf, try some blue eye, I've got some Shimano Plays 9000s for the electric reels.
Yep, stripey. 10 metres off the bottom. Oh yeah. That's a good fish.
Yeah. So that's on the 125 gram jig. Because of that tide, he's just gone up a bit in size. Yeah, and he's just come off the bottom like we're saying, up 10 metres off, and he's been nailed.
Oh, it's good fish. Hooked underneath.
Yeah, righto, so this is the first fish of the day on the first drop on the jig, cast jig. And these things are beautiful eating too, so we'll probably find out later on the Savo how good they are. So that was on a grappler. It's got the grappler 300 jig set up here on the Game Type J grappler. It's PE2, got the cast PE2 braid on this one. So the PE2 braid, and we're using a 60 pound leader, I think, on the end, fluorocarbon. That's one of the things we like about using this light gear. Makes a bit more fun of it, a bit more sport involved with it, and yeah, just have a good time with it, really. Another one. They go hard, don't they? That's up off the bottom again.
10 metres.
Yeah, I finally managed to get a bit of time to get a bait in the water. Can't let Bryce have all the fun. This is 50 pound braid, this one. Yeah, so I've got the drag reasonably tight, because when they take it, they like to try to get you back in the reef. So I like to have a bit of drag on to start with. So this Game Type J, I just love the power they have for how light the stick is. Here he is, here, this fish. Circle, yeah, that's smacking straight through the roof of the mouth. The jigs were going better to start with, and then I started using a bit of bait, and the bait's going pretty well. Sometimes you just got to adapt to try to suit the fish, what they're doing. Yeah, he's not a bad one, this one. Since I was 4 years old, I've been running Shimano, and I won't use anything else other than Shimano rods and reels, and they've been bulletproof for us. We give them a fair testing out, and they never fail. And I don't think I'll ever use anything else. I don't like letting any other tackle on the boat. She's always Shimano for us. As you can see, everything's covered pretty well in salt, and Shimano gear, I think, stands up to the test of it. We'll get down tomorrow, give them a good wash, fresh water, and we look after them, and they last a long time. Like some of the, I've still got chagras that are 20 years old, and we still use them for tuna fishing, and they still go like they did the day we brought them. So for our swordfish, we've got Talica 50s, and we also got a couple of Jagger 80s. Our preference is probably the 80 wide still at the moment. Yeah, they seem to do the job pretty well for us. We've got a lot of rods and reels out. If I was to guess, I'd say around 40 combos at the moment. So there's tuna rods and reels there. With one, we haven't even worried about spooling up yet, because we haven't got enough rod holes in the boat to use them all. We've recently fitted the 2400 up with a RL welding pot hauler. They're down south in Kingston, in Hobart, and they make a really nice product. All their stuff they do is really good. On our 2400, we've gone for a draw in here, opposite to what people do. Obviously, they have a live bait tank in here, but we went for the storage option. So whatever fishing we're doing for the day, so today we had our jigs and whatnot in there for the stripy trumpeter. We'll carry that in there. If we're going tunaing, we'll have our tuna lures in there. And then so down here, we've gone with the live bait tank. Gets it down out of the way a little bit. It recesses down underneath the transom. It's got plenty of room in there. We had all of our crayfish in there yesterday. This is all custom. We've done this afterwards. There's been a lot of things in this boat we've added on as time goes on. So carrying a fair few rods today, so all the rocket launchers were full. Carry a few of the jigging reels and setups down here. Come in pretty handy.
Just a few nylon sliders. Levi folded us up a bit of aluminium. Run our stainless steel rods, rod holders, and it works perfectly. It's got plenty of strength to carry all our game rods.
Up top we've got the our fenders, got a fender holder. We thought we'll get these fender holders and they just clamp straight on the rails up on the roof, and they're pretty easy to access up there. You just jump up and untie them and just straight on the side of the vessel.
We fish hard, and when we get really, really busy, you don't want to be tripping over stuff, and that's exactly how we want to run it. Full length, access to everything, all the way through. So we haven't worried about the seat here. So we've kept the esky for storage, to keep our bait, keep our food. We run a fridge bag in the middle, which works perfectly as well.
We've got bifold doors. We added them as an extra, and we actually used them today. I got out of the water after my dive, and I was pretty cold. It was just pretty stiff breeze coming across the water there from the east, and so we shut them doors and warmed up pretty quick. In recent years, we've been getting a lot of our own footage with the GoPros of swordfishing, jumbo bluefin, striper trumpeter, pretty well everything, crayfishing. So we've got a fair collection there of nice videos nowadays. In particular, the swordfishing ones, we love getting as much footage of them as we can. We're all about tag and release. If one comes up that's not quite right, we'll keep them because they are good eating, but we'd rather see them swim away. So we're predominantly trying to tag as many fish as we can nowadays. Our best fish, swordfish, was 256 kilos. We lost one last year in the Tasmanian Swordfish Championship. After 9 hours, we was out there till 9 o'clock at night, and that was a very, very large fish, and we lost it beside the boat. I snapped the 60-kilo line. It was getting really, really rough. We started to go a bit too hard on it, so we could sort of get the job done, and it just busted us off. But I think that fish earned its freedom, and we might get him again next year.